Hello there. Julian Richings here, Three Finger in Wrong Turn. You're listening to Don't Go Out There. Enjoy.
In a world where zombies, ghosts, serial killers, and vampires all exist, it's Nico, Brian, Mike, and Dustin, and they are all that stand between you and the films that could end the world. Welcome to the Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Podcast. Just want to thank all of our fans and listeners. Really appreciate the support. You guys are awesome. Before we get into tonight's film review, just want to give a quick shout out to our website, don'tgoouthere.com. Everything about our podcast is on the website. All of our episodes and interviews, if you want to check those out. We've done some incredible interviews in the past. Go check them out there in a specific tab by themselves so you don't have to scroll through hundreds of episodes on Apple or Spotify, etc. We also have our store if you want to grab a shirt, a mouse pad, a hat, all that good stuff. We'd love to see your pictures, rep your favorite podcast. And Shan's Etsy page is also attached if you want to grab a tumbler. All of our social media links are on there as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Like us, subscribe us, follow us, all that good stuff. And the last thing I want to shout out on our website is our Patreon. We call it Blood Donors. We have the traditional monthly reoccurring kind. If you want to support us, help us pay the bills, as we say. Or if there's a movie you want us to review, that option is available as well. Just check out our website, don'tgoouthere.com. Also, if you haven't noticed, we've recently joined the Believe Network. So there's some ads on our program now. But if you want ad-free content, go check us out on Blood Donors. The ad-free episodes will be available there. We appreciate your support. We hope you enjoy the episode. All right, guys, on to the film review. We continue on in December with my pick. I chose 2011's Wrong Turn 4. Why did I choose Wrong Turn 4, you ask? A few reasons. Number one, it's winter. It's December. It's snowing in this movie. I felt like it was just a good wintertime pick. Second reason, it's nostalgic. I don't know, not like I saw it for the first time in theaters, but I just remember seeing it on the Sci-Fi Channel at the house, kind of binge watching the entire first five. I can't remember Wrong Turn movies on there, recording them on the DVR. And the third reason is just a little sneak peek for what we're doing next month. Dustin kind of, floated the idea of let's review some of the B horror movies in our genre, like a Llamageddon, those type of movies. I'm not saying we're doing that one, but those kind of movies. I figured Wrong Turn 4 is kind of easing our way into that, subgenre of the horror genre. And do I think this movie is great? No, not any means. But do I consider it a guilty pleasure that I can just turn on and just have some dumb horror movie fun with? Yes. And I'll just leave it at that. Brian, what did you think? I don't expect anyone to love this movie, by the way.
Yeah, I love it. No, I'm just kidding. I just kind of going along those same lines. Going into a movie like this, I say, okay, a B-movie slasher, so I can forgive the bad dialogue, the very bad dialogue. I can forgive the way bloated cast of throwaway characters is just, I can forgive the bad acting. To be honest, I was just like, man, fine, whatever, until the third act. The third act pissed me off. And look, it's a horror movie. Dumb decisions will be made by the characters. But some movies go too far with it, and look, it maybe seemed petty, but this one did to me. The writing for these characters I thought was so bad in that department that it made me I was like, fuck this movie at the end of it. Now, it's not like it didn't have some redeemable parts. I'm excited to get into it. But, seeing that this guy, Declan O'Brien, wrote Wrong Turn 5, let's just say that I will not be gracing it with my presence unless it's picked here. Also, I think all of us did. But for sure, I watched the unrated version. So I was going to go into the differences with that and R-rated version as well throughout, but literally could not find that. So that generally tells me that this is one of those direct-to-video movies that use the unrated slogan to sell more copies because, people like me who will choose that over rated every day of the week and twice on Sunday, as a little dad saying there. But I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, Nico, you're such an anomaly to me. You're an enigma. How you can like cinema such as Portrait of a Lady on Fire and Midsommar and these movies that I think a lot of critics agree are great movies. But then you also find room in your heart for movies like this and Terrifier 3. Like that is range, brother. And I applaud you for it because I don't have that kind of range. I hated every minute of this movie just about. I regret picking or floating the idea for next month's theme if this was a result of that. Like if that's like a deciding factor why this movie's picked, I regret picking that month. I think that this movie had some of the worst acting I've ever seen. And I've seen some bad acting. I've seen bad movies. This is up there with the worst. And it's not just the acting. They weren't done any favors by the script. The dialogue was dog water. So
that's what I blame. I blame that. I think more than the acting. Honestly, it's just so bad. Writing
you can
so
do
bad.
a lot. You can do a lot with bad lines if you're a good actor, and you can do a lot. You can take good lines and make them bad if you're a bad actor. This is a perfect marriage of bad acting and bad lines. Also, it doesn't help that I have the flu. I've been dealing with the flu for the past 5 days. So maybe I was just a little cranky in general when I was watching it, but I didn't have a good time with it, just to be honest with you.
Hey, man, that's fair. I get it. But yeah, let's jump into the old scene by scene. Wrong Turn 5 is god awful, though. It's way worse than this movie, believe it or not. But Doug Bradley's in it, if that's any redeeming grace. Shout out to Pinhead.
Probably not.
All right, Mike, whenever you're ready, jump into the scene by scene.
All right, who's ready for this bag of shit? Anyway, still not the worst movie we've done all year. That would be Genetic Opera, but it's pretty bad. It's almost in so bad it's good territory, though. So here we go. We open up to the Glenville Sanitarium in West Virginia. We're following a doctor and a visitor. The doctor explains that the C ward, or that Ward C, is high security. Sounds a lot like Shutter Island, and that the people here are a danger to us and themselves. The doctor explains that this isn't a prison and that the patients must be reformed before entering society. He introduces her to the Hilliker brothers and explains that they found them standing over the remains of what's supposed to be their parents after eating them. He introduces them one by one, including one of them that's, quote, sucking on his stump. They talk about the inbred families of West Virginia, how all they can do is grunt and groan. Against the doctor's advice, she says she wants to work with them to try to rehabilitate them. The two leave, and we see the brothers grunting at the cell across from them, and they find a hairpin on the ground and are somehow able to use it to unlock their cell. Zero home training, but know how to pick a lock. Explain that one to me. They're free now, and the brothers attack a worker from behind, and they start to eat him alive. They go to leave the room, and then they press the button to let everyone out. Somehow they know how to do that. We cut to the hallways of the sanitarium, and all hell has broken loose as the patients run around and create havoc. We see the Hilliker brothers have the woman from before on a chair, and they're giving her some extra shock therapy. They electrocute her to death until she pisses herself, and we have to see that for some reason. Now they're with the doctor, and they basically have him in a jigsaw trap as they rip him limb from limb. Somehow they're smart enough for this. Don't know how. As we cut to a title card. Now we're with two people fucking. Actually, we're with multiple couples fucking in this scene when we're just cutting back and forth between the two. Good for them. Looks like everyone even finished. Happy for you guys. A friend that's not fucking walks in and tells them it's time to go, but she turns down the invite to join everyone like an idiot. We see more useless people pull up, and they're hopping on snowmobiles. They're heading to a cabin as some character named Daniel warns them there's a storm coming and maybe they should wait. They ignore Daniel, and everyone takes off to a very late 2000s alt-rock tune. We see everyone having fun in their, quote, our trip to the cabin. And that's all for the first set of scenes. What'd you think, Brian?
Okay, so as far as this cold open goes, we kind of get into that bad dialogue pretty quickly here. The atmosphere, I would say, is pretty okay. I liked pretty much all of it except the stupid ass song. Kristen Harris, who plays Dr. McQuaid, was in a bunch of Hallmark movies, which kind of got me going down a rabbit hole. And it's kind of funny given the acting throughout this, and us just talking about that in those movies. But of the women in this cast, Jenny Pudovic, who plays Kenya, Caitlin Lieb, who plays Bridget, and Samantha Kendrick, who plays Claire, all went the Christmas Hallmark movie route. Like they have 10 or 20 in their repertoire. Now, Tanika Davis as Sarah, I thought was great in It, Welcome to Derry. So check us reviewing that out real time. Don't go out there to the series. And she was in the great series Spartacus as well. And Ali Tartarin, who plays Lauren, also kind of broke through after this. She was in The Curse of Chucky, best one in my opinion, and some others. So those two are proven actors. Now, with all that said, the choice to use the Blue Danube Waltz as they showed everyone being killed was fucking stupid, I thought. Maybe you disagree with me, but I thought that was a terrible, terrible choice there. Completely took me out of all of it. Now, we get to also meet all the characters, and that's another huge issue for me. I brought up in my open with this. There are way too many in this friend group. Like, I get it, it's mostly for cannon fodder, and usually I can forgive it, but I'm trying to do notes for a movie review here, and you should see my notes, guys. Seriously. Like, I literally had to decide here things like Claire, blonde, white shirt. Daniel, dressed like greaser, short. Like, this cast is way too convoluted. And I've never had to do this for a movie at all. And don't even try to figure out any of that, because if you're just watching this, because they may as well be generic girl in gold shirt. Because unless you're doing something like this, the names don't matter at all. Now, with all of that said, what an introduction to them. I mean, this opening sex scene, number one, like, it has to be just in the unrated version. I mean, no way this made the rated R cut. And you know what? At the risk of sounding like a perv, bravo to the quote B-rated movie, horror movie, for putting in that obligatory sex scene that comes with B horror movies. Like, I mean, come on. We all know that that's what sells direct-to-video releases. And if someone picks up Wrong Turn 4 or Friday the 13th Part 9 at the video store, or I guess Walmart bin nowadays, we want to see brutal kills and sex scenes. Say what you want, but I'm not wrong. This one gives us the double whammy with two different couples. Something for everyone here. And the best cinematography in the entire film. So, sorry, not sorry. But now I think that this was Sarah and Bridget, maybe. And then maybe this is Vincent and Jenna. I have no idea. But the subtitles even just say, quote, woman, instead of their names. And if the subtitles can't be bothered, why the hell, what are we doing here? Like, why could we be bothered here? You know, I like the ending of the set with the snow ski. The music I thought was a good choice there with them riding in the snow. That snow is all real snow, which is a nice touch, because movies, Trimmer's A Cold Day in Hell, I'm looking at you. You can tell if it's a fake snow, honestly. Now, I will say that nobody ratchet strapped anything down in that thing that they're towing, and they didn't snap the straps and say, this isn't going anywhere. So that stuff would have clearly all flowed out.
Brother, you just blew my mind. I did not realize that Sarah was the new chick in Spartacus. Like, I just looked it up, and like, I'm kind of mind blown about that. Shout out to Akeelia. Man, and me and you kind of have similar notes, Brian, to some of this stuff, and we did not cheat off each other's homework. We have a fan comment that I hope to remember to read that mentions this, but I like this mental ward setting, the asylum, or whatever you want to call it. I like the explanation of how the cannibal inbreeds got there. And most of my notes are the things I like, but just trust the process. I do not have this rated super high. I like the explanation of how the cannibal inbreeds got their future nicknames and explain away how they got their ability to not feel pain. But what good is it to have a muzzle on Sawtooth if he's in the same cell as his brothers who aren't restrained or have their hands restrained? Like, it makes no sense. Fun fact, the actor who portrays the orderly, Scott Johnson, also portrays grown-up Sawtooth. I like that. And bro gets got with a quickness. Like I mentioned in The Ugly Stepsister, I hate anything to do with eyes, so the stab and the eating of the eyeball, that's pretty rough to see. Not sure how my co-hosts feel about this scene in the ward with the opera-like music and the chaos ensuing, but to me, that's what B-horror is about, is a silly, brutal fun. If this movie or Orphan First Kill taught me anything, is that you don't want to be a new doctor at a mental facility. Just don't be one of those. I think this is a good opening that gets you invested right away. The next few moments are also very B-horror-esque with all these sex scenes. I promise I didn't steal your notes, Brian. Kenya's first annoying moment, knock on the damn door before you enter. Like, how rude are you? And Kenya is by far one of my least favorite characters in all of horror. She's so damn annoying and stupid. Daniel getting cooked by everyone here just for being cautious, damn. And you all may recognize Daniel from Saw 3D. He played Kale, one of Bobby Dagan's teammates in Thievery and Foolery. I'm sure I'm alone here, but I thought this was a decent opening. Go ahead, Dustin.
Well, it looked like an opening to a drama TV show on CBS, the first thing we saw. So I didn't have much hope. Like, I thought I was watching CSI Miami. And then the dialogue and line delivery, I wrote, this is going to be a long movie review. The first kill was outrageous. The guard not outrageous is like, oh, that was awesome. The guard walked right by at least one of the inbreds as he entered that cell block. I'll accept that one, maybe two, hid behind the door when it opened. But when you see them coming towards him, one of them was coming from the side of the door that didn't have the door. Does that make sense? So what? Come on. I will say, though, at this point, I thought they were going to lean all the way into the cheesiness and comedy for this movie. So I did appreciate the song choice when the chaos is happening. Blue Danube, that was a ridiculous song to be juxtaposed to what we're seeing, and it worked perfectly. My problem is, having watched the rest of the movie after that, they didn't lean into it as much. And so in retrospect, I agree, it is a stupid song choice. But at the moment, I thought it was going to be perfect. Then after they fried old girl's brain, they locked the chief of staff in a jigsaw trap. Like, what are we doing here? At this moment, I definitely try to stop expecting anything good and just try to at least have a little fun. But we go from that to the title card to a pair of dueling, pointless sex scenes that last forever. So I disagree with you, Brian. Like, I get what you're saying, but to me, pointless sex scenes do nothing for me. If the sex scene is critical to the storyline or something comes of it, no pun intended there, then I'm fine with it. But like just gratuitous sex scenes for the sake of having them does nothing for me. And these included the phrase "slut monkeys," so that made it even worse for me. And the acting in this movie, I've said it already, but I'll say it again. It's pharmaceutical commercial bad. Like, these are some, I talked to my doctor about Cymbalta ass actors. I was mad the entire time having to watch them. So it's not a very promising opening for me.
What's funny about that is that's exactly how all the Hallmark movies are, and that's funny how 3 of them went on to do all Hallmark movies after this.
Yeah, that's not the last time that Hallmark Christmas movies is going to be referenced either. So I'll just leave.
Nice.
I have something in my notes.
We've been doing this podcast together too long, all of us.
I did want to say, like you mentioned, like the jigsaw trap kind of thing. Once you like the first Wrong Turn is a lot more serious than the rest of the franchise. Like, I don't know if you've seen any of the sequels or not, but like
No.
2, 3, 4, and 5, like they get way more silly with the kills and more brutal and more, I don't know, creative with them and all that. It's not just like shooting an arrow at somebody or something.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that if you can make it entertaining. And this one just wasn't to me. I will say the only reason I ever watched Wrong Turn to begin with was
because I picked it.
No, I've seen it. I saw it like when it came out.
Oh, gotcha. Eliza.
Because who's in it.
Yeah.
And I did see recently she's retired from acting. She's not going to act anymore. And so I just wish her well.
Probably, but Hot Chick 1 says they're lost, and Doofus guy over here denies that he got everyone lost and gets everyone to follow him again anyway. Sounds like a cult. The other guy quotes the name of the movie, which is Wrong Turn. He says he knows they've made a wrong turn. It's dark now, and there is in fact a massive storm that Daniel warned about, and they see a building off in the distance and head towards it. Turns out it's a sanitarium where the Hilliker brothers just ate people. They're walking around the building and complaining about how gross it is instead of being lucky that they found a place to stay. All the hot chicks gather. I'm sorry. The names are not coming to me here. I will be honest, but you'll see there's more. All the women are gathered on the couch around a fireplace when Super Macho Man comes back with some firewood and asks who's ready for a weenie roast. Doofus guy apologizes and everyone stupidly forgives him. They say, let's explore this creepy building where they were just complaining while an asshole makes a joke about his friend being a lesbian. We follow the gang around the halls, and I think now they realize it was a mental asylum, even though it's never exclusively stated. They find a file with some, quote, fucked up shit with deformed people. They read through the Hilliker files and decide to go back to the room with the couch. We lose half the gang as 3 go back and take off to explore some more. In the hall, they think they hear a, quote, ghost, and finally learn this guy's name is Vincent. As he plays a prank on the 2 girls, he comes out and jump scares them, and they call him an asshole. Back to the couch room, and she talks like no one in the real world does and reprimands Vincent for his stupid pranks. Down in the basement, he realized we have gas in here and cranks on the power. That's all for the second set scene, Brian.
First of all, I don't know how long they drove around on these snow skis, but I kept thinking, gas. And what a coincidence that there's a gigantic house. Well, I thought it was a house at this point. Right when you need it, snowstorms are coming. Here's one right here. Yeah, I can let that go. It's a B horror movie. I have to call that out. Hey, fun fact: Sean Skeen. You mentioned the other one, Nico, but Sean Skeen that plays Vincent here also plays Three Finger. So my man pulling two checks, and I said checks, not chicks. But speaking of pulling two chicks at one time, Vincent, and I'm not sure who this is. I think it's Jenna, but the two of them literally talk about leaving to go find a room and have sex, and she says, "Ooh, okay." Then as they're leaving, I think it's Kenya. They ask Kenya if she wants to come, and she's like, "Sure." And then turns around and calls him gross and a pervert when he tries to get it on. I mean, like, why would she even go then?
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Made so no damn sense. I thought when she got up and go, I was like, oh, okay, we're getting another one. Nope. Anyway, yeah, make no same sense. And listen, I know I've said I'd forgive it, but I still have to call it out because it is so damn bad here. Wrong turn for your dialogue. Woof. That's from Home Alone, Nico. I mean, it's like some of the worst I've seen in a long, long time. And don't blame Samantha Kendrick, though. Like, it was her acting debut. She took that on to Hallmark Movie Glory, like we said. So, hey, get paid. But I blame the director and the writer. Not much on this set of scenes. I mean, we're 30 minutes in, and I'm actively still trying to find out people's names because I'm taking notes and literally cannot. So I beg to ask the question, what is the point of all this character bond building and character development we see if the script makes me not care about any of these people anyway?
I don't know, but I'm just glad they used the phrase Hallmark Movie Glory.
I'm just going to throw this out there. I've seen Home Alone. Just throwing that out there. The first one, second one, and the third one. But anyway, we'll just move on from that. You know a guy is lost when they're just looking around aimlessly. Like my guy Kyle, like he just looks lost. Leo mean pointing at the TV when Daniel says we made a wrong turn. Like, hey, they said the name of the movie. Hell yeah. How was Bridget the only one to notice this big-ass building over the horizon? Give me a break. And she's Asian. You know she's got the smallest eyes of everybody. But anywho, I feel like I can make that joke because I am Asian, but I don't know if other people might get offended. Also, I feel like this group of people would have to know this building exists if they've been to Porter's cabin previously. Like, how do you not know there's giant mental asylums out here? A weenie roast?
Because they took a wrong turn.
That's true, but still, a weenie roast. These folks keep hot dogs on them at all times. Like everybody, it just reminds me of Dustin's FYP. Just got wieners all over it. Daniel, when he says,
all right.
Damn.
Hold up.
I meant hot dogs.
Hot dogs. And I told you that in confidence.
Oh my! What's that? I'm sorry. Damn, I just broke code. Sorry about that. Daniel, when he says trespassing, I laughed because the embarrassment from everyone was thick. They're like, "Are you fucking with me, Daniel?" I did chuckle at Vincent saying, "That's right. You don't do hot dogs, do you?" I thought that was funny. This picture of the guy in the patient files is like comically bad. Like they could have used a more realistic deformity. Like it just looked like a damn Snapchat filter or something. I hated that. Elite jump scare by Vincent on the girls, but I really can't blame them for being annoyed. Like he's just one of those guys who just is always annoying. And Vincent goes full Lloyd Christmas and totally redeems himself. That's from Dumb and Dumber. Finding the generator and getting the power turned back on. I didn't have a lot of notes here either, Brian. Nothing mutant cannibal related happened. But we're getting to know the friend group that Brian didn't like, and I didn't hate it, but I do think Kenya is annoying and I can't stand her. Go ahead.
Yeah, just a heads up, Mike. I don't have a lot here either. I like when characters, you touched on this, Nico, but I too like it when characters say the name of the movie that they're in. Because at 17 minutes and 44 seconds, we get that in this one. They're all turned around trying to find the cabin, and Daniel says, he's making a wrong turn for Bloody Beginnings. I know it. I thought that was cool. So,
oh, they said it really fast. I didn't see that in there.
Oh, it was in the subtitles, maybe. I don't know. But seriously, though, he does make a wrong turn, and that's to be expected. This franchise isn't called Correct Route. Very dramatic score as they ride their snowmobiles in the dark. But honestly, it was an odd choice, and I didn't like that. Like, the score sucked right there. It was so out of place, it didn't fit the tone at all. It was the kind of tone that you would hear in a Hallmark Christmas movie or a romance story. It just stood out. And the score stands out a lot to me in this movie, and I'll touch on it again later. And it's followed by some of the worst dialogue I've ever heard. So generic and bland. The acting did not help. 0 out of 10 scene when they get all settled in at this hospital. Like, I hated every minute of it. At least it finally gets creepy soon afterwards, but before stuff pops off, we get even more terrible acting and dialogue. It is what it is, man.
back in the room, and Vincent takes a victory lap for doing something totally normal like turning on the power. Then we get a really long and horribly placed dance and party scene. We cut to the group having a wheelchair race, which admittedly looks fun. They find an old roll of film and decide to turn it on. There's a black and white film playing, and it shows the therapy that was being performed on the patients there. We get an exposition dump about the West Virginia hillbillies that were rounded up back in the day. When the movie is over, everyone decides, fuck it, we're going to bed. We cut to Vincent the asshat creepily watching the two women get intimate. I mean, nothing wrong with watching if it were a movie, but these are people you know, you fuck. Anyway, he turns down the hall to explore some more, and bam! He's spiked in the head by one of the Hilliker brothers. Thank God Vincent is dead. Unfortunately, up to this point, he's the only name I knew. It's morning now, and instead of celebrating, everyone is worried and looking for Vincent. The girls knew that he was peeping Tommy and them last night. Good for them, I guess. And that's the last time they saw him. The group decides to pack up and look for him and get out of there. Now we're following the group down the halls while they pick up tools and look for him. They find blood on the window and wonder if it's Vincent's. I wonder who the fuck it could be. Would honestly be creepier if it wasn't his. They split up and look for him some more. We cut to the brothers ripping a body apart, and someone sees them do it. The group discovers they're not alone here, and someone is fucking with them. They unwrap a jacket to find a decapitated head, and the entire group screams. Then we see a blonde girl get ripped up by her neck and hung until her head falls off. She bleeds all over everyone, and the group decides to make a run for it. That's all I had there.
I know that we don't need this obligatory plot device here where they're all in wheelchairs watching the black and white movie, and then one of the girls talks about hearing the story about the West Virginia mutant people. This is the fourth movie in the franchise. Plus it's a prequel. What does it even matter if they know that or not? And it was all super weird put together anyway, because they pull up in their wheelchairs. Daniel says, anyone up for popcorn? Which nobody fucking talks like this. And then walks up, puts the movie on, literally walks back down, and then says, okay, movie's over, time for bed. What? I don't know. Peeping one eye cracked me up, though. He ain't never seen no girls like this. He can't see, but like a blind man in an orgy, I think he's going to feel his way through, by God. And come on, again. Literally nobody is going to get up and walk around an old abandoned mental hospital when they can't sleep at night. It's not even remotely believable. I also love how at 40 minutes it shows outside and it's not storming at all. It's clear. It's beautiful, sunny. And then 42 minutes, Daniel goes, it's bad outside. We aren't going anywhere anyway. Jesus Christ, if that's the case, don't show an outside shot, you fucking idiots. And at 42:40, we get that very philosophical exchange that stood out to me. Here you go, princess. Oh, great, I'm a princess, thanks. Nobody has ever talked like this. Now, I'm glad we finally are starting to kind of get into the more mutant killing, although we should have probably 20 minutes ago, if I'm being honest, but I have so many questions. Jenna, is it Jenna? I don't know, not sure. I have Jenna written as gold shirt, so I'm going to go with hopefully this is Jenna. Now, as she sees the mutant carry an old dude, so he grabbed him last night, and now we're deciding to cut him up in the morning. I guess he had to sleep on it. Seems odd. But also her response is to run back to the group and literally just scream, they're going to kill us all. Oh, my God, dude. It made for some decent gore, but I'm calling such bullshit on being able to pop somebody's head off by hanging them with barbed wire too. And it's so damn frustrating to me how there's two guys here and they're not just instantly wanting to fight. The movie has me rolling my eyes, but I mean, it'll straight piss me off later. That's all I had.
Brother, have you seen Daniel? That Joker's a wimp.
Yeah, but I mean, shit, Kyle isn't. And to be fair, Kyle was trying to fight, but
yeah, Daniel's just
anyway.
He's a wimp. The group is vibing, dancing, and it's nice to see Daniel lighten up and hang out a little bit. And Lauren remembers all this stuff about the hillbillies now suddenly. All right, then. You couldn't remember that shit 20 minutes ago? Sarah, fuck off. No one is trying to run stairs in the morning, especially at a place like this. I can't stand you health nuts when you want to run all the damn time. Take a day off. I'm just kidding. Don't hate. And fun fact, I wrote this down too, Brian. The actor who portrays Vincent, Sean Skeen, also portrays Three Finger, and his brother, Dan Skeen, portrays One Eye. So shout out to the Skeen brothers. This scene is weird. Did they set Porter up as bait in general? Because there's no way they know Vincent would just go wandering again at nighttime. Was this just set up just in case anything were to happen? Quick instant death for Vincent, no pain, didn't even get to react. That sucks. ever since Dead Meat pointed out, I can't help but notice this somber, sad music when he's dragged away. Why? It's not like he's was some beloved character to be sad over. Like he was just some dude. Like we didn't really care about Vincent. I'm on Daniel's side here. I'd be quite sketched out if my stuff was gone. Like, I don't think Vincent is a prankster is a good enough justification for this. Like, something weird's going on. Poor Jenna gets to be the one discovering the horrifying truth, watching her old pal Porter getting butchered up. Ugh. What would be going through your mind if you saw this? Like, fuck, shit just got real. And I agree with you, Brian. Jenna, terrible news delivery. Why would you run in guns blazing, yelling, they're all going to kill us, or whatever she said? Like, that's terrible. Like, what are you doing? Like, they could hear you. Like, be quiet and just try and sneak away. This is a pretty epic reveal of the cannibals, in my opinion, tossing Porter's head at the friend group wrapped in his jacket and then putting a barbed wire noose around Claire's neck and hanging her. Like, I thought that was pretty good. But I have no clue why Kyle just lays here, honestly. He's getting bled on. Like, get up, dude. Run away. Fight back. What are you doing just laying here?
Yeah, the party scene went on way too long because nothing remotely interesting was happening except for we saw that they were being watched through the mirror. Okay, cool. Like, this movie is an hour and 33 minutes, but it should have been so much shorter if a lot of these scenes weren't so unnecessarily drawn out. Like you said, Brian, they're trying to establish this friend group still at this point, 45 minutes into the movie, and I don't care about any of them. They're trying to establish their dynamic and make us like, you failed. Move on. Get to the action. Then Vincent dies. Thank God we're getting some action here. But again, what's with the overly dramatic score? So after I typed that, I paused the movie and I looked up the composer, Claude Foisy. Not familiar with Claude's work, but a ton of his composing credits are Hallmark Christmas movies. So that checks out. It makes so much sense.
There we go.
More awful acting follows, which is only topped by the awful CG of Claire's head coming off. That was exquisitely bad, which is how I feel about this whole movie so far. And also, the whole barbed wire noose getting around her head pissed me off. She's backing up in slow motion. The noose is lowering in slow motion. Like, to me, if I'm backing up and I feel something touch my head, I'm jerking like, what was that? But she just stood there and let it slowly slide down over her head. That pissed me off. But anyway, that's all I got.
One of the girls takes off in the storm to find help, and this useless dude just lets her do it. They stupidly go back inside, but I guess it's better than freezing. They're doing another exposition dump about the brothers as we cut to them grunting and groaning. We're back to the ground, and they're making a plan on what to do next. They split up, but you know the saying, don't go out there. We're following one of the brothers as he's laughing and taunting them, walking up and down the halls. Then tall brother has a drill with a big-ass auger bit and tries to break down the door of the room some of the nameless characters are in. Somehow, he's unsuccessful this time. He had superhuman strength before. Not sure what's going on here. We cut to the brothers having the greaser-looking guy on the table. They're about to torture him. He's on the table like he's about to get carved like a Thanksgiving turkey. We cut back to the rest of the group making a plan, and then my greaser guy has his shirt off as he's being split open, and all he's doing is screaming. Then the stupid bitch thinks it's a trap as her friend is being tortured on a table. We keep cutting back to the scene of him being filleted open, and I could go my whole life without watching this scene happen, just being honest. More torture, more torture. They're having themselves a good old-fashioned fish fry here, baby, with this guy's remains. In an objectively dark but hilarious scene when it comes to cannibalism anyway. They called it fucked up fondue, which I agree. One of the brothers starts to eat a little fast and chokes on human meat. Pause. They attack him from behind with a fire extinguisher and get the brothers back behind bars. We see our last man standing in the snow, our lone wolf in the snow with a fire to try and warm her hands.
Yeah, listen, I'm not joking. The first time I watched this, I guess I missed it. I missed that whole ending result with Lauren because I distinctly remember going at the end like, wait a minute, what the hell happened to that girl who left to get help? So I did pay attention to the next movie. I guess she is the best actress in the whole movie, given what they went on to do. So I guess she had to go film a Chucky movie because she gone. But it wasn't until this watch through I saw that she actually froze to death. So all that was pointless. Also, distinctly through these scenes, you can clearly see the sanitarium was supposed to be abandoned in 1974. Has very modern day smoke detectors, sprinklers, and camera system. So again, forgivable based on the budget, but just have to call that out. But this is when it really starts to piss me off. Like just the logical decisions are so insanely stupid and unbelievable. Like, nobody would do any of this. And I'm sorry, they wouldn't. The dude just sat there and watched Daniel be sliced up during this fondue scene, which, by the way, you can see a cameraman walking in the background of this, so that's kind of funny. But the entire time he runs back, they just run their mouth to come up with a plan. They cut back. He's getting cut up some more. The whole time he's just being fucking cut to bits. Like, what are you fucking doing? And this drill is comically big. Like, I laughed every time it was used. Like, I just went, what the fuck is that? Like, it was from the 1960s Batman. I don't know. TV show. It made me laugh. Then are you fucking kidding me? Like, don't have the group in this position to be able to kill the mutants and choose not to. That makes absolutely zero sense. Like, zero character development that you've given, especially to Kenya, who's the one whose boyfriend and friends just got murdered, and she's choosing to not kill them. Why? Just don't write them into the situation, because having them choose not to is the stupidest shit you could have possibly have them do. And then Kyle puts the lighter down because why? So he wouldn't have to live with it? What? His girlfriend just got murdered in front of our faces. It's the dumbest fucking writing I think I could have possibly had, which was the second to final straw for me. The last straw is coming up here soon in the next set of scenes. And I mean, maybe you could have said, like, we can't leave. Don't burn the whole place down. We got to fucking sleep here. That would have at least made a little bit more sense. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I have.
Yeah, fuck Kenya. She's the worst. It's about damn time he gets up and the group gets their well fuck moment, realizing the spark plug wires are stripped. Brave attempt by Lauren to try and ski for help. I'm sure she'll make it out alive. I do think the turn Porter into Porterhouse line, like, that's funny to me. It might be cringe, but I do laugh at it. Daniel is a coward. Don't be this much of a beta in front of everyone. Damn, man. But I do agree with him that even though he just got roasted, they probably should have all gone together to, like, get these weapons. The three-finger laugh is so iconic, and this dude is boot-scooting running at him, I tell you what. Kenya continues to annoy me. If it was Kyle, Sarah, or Daniel at the door, wouldn't they have said that by now? Why do you keep asking if it's one of them and putting your head right there? Bridget is the only smart one grabbing a weapon to stab one eye in the arm. Like, these characters really are stupid. And I agree with you, Brian. I don't know if you liked it or not, but the auger that they were using, I think it's a badass weapon for a horror movie. If you're going to be a little silly B-horror movie, let's get ridiculous with it. I feel awful for my guy, Daniel. Why did he have to be the one that gets snatched up like this? Poor fella. And Bridget, she gives no fucks about anyone. This girl is selfish as hell. She said, fuck Daniel. This fondue scene is also, to me, a fun way to explore cannibals in a B-horror movie. It's not just basic-ass cannibal horror movie stuff. Like, they're being playful with it. If I was Daniel, I'm 100% certain I'd shit and piss myself and then pass out from shock and stress before they could cut up on me. And Bridget is sending me. She can hear this man screaming in agony, talking about, let's take a vote. He's already dead. What if he's a trap? Like, she's a horrible person. I think it's hilarious that Three Finger is enjoying some deep-fried pectoral meat. But back to a serious note, it would be horrific to be Kyle and see all this shit going down with your friend. And I do give Kenya one bit of credit here. I think she has a good idea trying to trap him, not what happens after that. Dumbass One Eye almost chokes. What an idiot. And Three Finger laughing at him sent me. What ensues now is absolutely infuriating. Kenya pulls the don't stoop to their level, don't become like them. Like, what an idiot. And like you mentioned, Brian, did you forget they killed your boyfriend and threw his head at you? Killed Kyle's girlfriend, butchered Daniel, and ate him like fondue? Like, what are we doing here? I laughed at the snow falling on Lauren's little fire. That shit would have had me crashing out like Shane seeing Dale at the damn RV. I'd have been losing it. Dustin, I do want to ask you a question. Any thoughts on Kyle taking Kenya's advice here? I'm ready for the ending.
Yeah. This ain't the first time that listening to a woman's come back to bite a man. Anyway.
You're going back to the Bible again?
Just, don't argue with me. Argue with God. This is some actual dialogue that happened in this movie. Quote, I say we head back inside and figure out a way to defend ourselves. Another line. Quote, where are you going? Person 2. I'm the strongest skier. Like, what is this dialogue, man? What? I mean, they probably already turned Porter into a porterhouse. That's also a real line that was said. They probably already turned Porter into a porterhouse. Most predictable thing I've ever seen was the inbred attacking through the door when Sarah had her head up to it. Like, yeah. Then they got Daniel hemmed up pretty good. They even cut my boy's nipple off. That's tough. I don't know how they could just go on torturing him without cutting out his tongue, though, because his screaming got old fast for me. And then he said, God, please let me die. That's how I felt this week several times dealing with this flu. I was shocked. Little Miss, I'm a strong skier, didn't make it. Let me tell you, that shocked me. I thought for sure. When she said she's the strongest skier, it's like, oh, I trust her. I thought she just skis straight through with no issues. Major pussy move from Kyle. Like, torch these freaks. What are you talking about, dog? I gotta live with it. I can't do it. Yeah, you can. Be a man. Torch the inbreds. I'm excited for the ending, guys. Take that how you will.
Put that on a shirt. Be a man. Torch the inbreds.
Our final girl asks where the spark plug wires are, but realizes that they can't talk. Smart enough to use technology and torture people, not enough to know what spark plugs are. Okay. Last Man Standing lets them know that he's coming back to kill them all as the rest of the group takes off. Then this dude falls a fucking sleep. Unbelievable. They let themselves out again, and homeboy is as good as dead. Final girl is walking up and down the hall with the lights flickering because that's what at least a quarter of this movie actually is. I learned for the first time that the last man standing's name is Kyle. They realize Kyle's probably going to die and decide to hide until the morning, and then they'll make a run for it. They finally, however, decide to get brave and kill someone, and turns out, boom, it's Kyle. What a bunch of losers. I will say, one of the few creative moments in the film. We're getting a long final chase scene with the women and the brothers. There's a door between them as they both fight, one to escape and one to get through a snow wall, and the other the door holding them back. I don't know if that made a lot of sense, but autocorrect is a bitch sometimes. One of the girls tunnels out of the snow for the rest of them, and the last one does get a cool ass auger bit death finally for her troubles. The rest make a run in the snow, but the brothers are loose on snowmobiles. They don't know much, but they know how to drive snowmobiles. Awesome, you betcha. They're circling the girls, and they finally catch one and drag her off into the woods. We get a cool kill off the snowmobile, just chopping up the woman with their blade. Turns out her name was Bridget. Now she's dead, so at least I learned her name by the end of the film. It's morning time now, and we see the one lone wolf that went out on her own is a Frozen, a woman sickle. Somehow the film ends with the brother getting hit in the back of the head with a log, and just when you think that everyone is off safe, they ride their snowmobiles off to the sunset, and a barbed wire fence goes off with their heads, and I objectively laughed my ass off as the early 2010s alt-rock song plays them out. That's the final set of the scene, guys. What do you think?
And them just finding the same lock pick. Look, I'm still ranting about this fucking because it's coming over from the last set of scenes. Finding the same lockpick from the start of the movie and getting out the exact same way is lazy writing. Also, Kenya says, I'll keep watch while y'all sleep. What do you think Kyle's supposed to be fucking doing? And then you're telling me all night you never walk back down? Or since you were up and y'all have the people fucking locked away, you never walked down to see if he was good. And I wrote that because it showed Kenya sitting there and it was clearly daylight outside. So I thought it was the next morning. But then when she gets up and walks back, it's dark again. So I think that's a blunder on the movie, not my note taking. But the last unforgivable scene in this fucking movie that made me just throw my hands up is all of these girls accidentally killing Kyle. Like, are you fucking joking right now? His hands still goddamn work. Like, why didn't he just rip the bag off his head? And then they don't even care. Like, I'm at the point of throwing up my hands right, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And then the dude comes around the corner with this comically bad auger 60s Batman drill again, and I just laughed and said, what the fuck is this movie? Some decent kills as we go through the rest of this here. Digging through the snow I thought was dumb as fuck to get out of that window, and comically slow, by the way. The snowmobile kill on Bridget was comically bad. But at the point where I was long gone, to be honest. Like, it ended on a decent note with the barbed wire. My favorite kill, even though you know how I feel about the decapitations, and that would not have decapitated his Tata. But yeah, movie just wasn't for me overall.
Very fair, very fair. I laughed at Kenya asking these goobers where the spark plug wires are. Like, they're going to answer you. They can't even talk, you idiot. They should have had 2 people be on watch as well in case someone was tired. Like, why didn't they think of this? Like, you don't need 4 people looking for spark plug wires. And why wait, Kyle? Kill them assholes right damn now. You ain't got to listen to Kenya. Like, who made her the boss? Kenya continues to annoy me. I'm leaving tomorrow with or without the spark plug wires. Yeah, Houseway. What if it's still storming? She annoys me so much. Why don't you just leave right now then, you idiot? Real talk, though, how do you fall asleep in a situation like this? I'd be way too paranoid to fall asleep. Like, I don't even sleep well the night before a fishing trip, yet alone outside the cell with 3 cannibal hillbillies. Like, what are we doing? We're losing recipes here. Soon as the generator cut off, I'd turn around if I was Kenya. As annoying as she is, I do give her props for going to, like, relieve Kyle of his shift, and, like, she's being a little boots on the ground. She's not telling people what to do without doing it herself. I do give her that props, but she still sucks. If I were Kenya, though, I'd be shitting bricks seeing Kyle gone and the cell empty because that is not good. This next kill annoys me too, Brian. Why would Kyle act like this? Take the damn bag off your head, Goofy. Like, try, or at least try and motion that you're not the fucking, like, why would Three Finger be running at you like that? Like, make it make sense. When the 3 cannibals emerged with that auger, I was rooting for 3 of them to survive, except Kenya, of course, because she annoys me. And that also made me think horror movies are weird. We root for folks to get killed off just because they're annoying, and we never really feel like that in real life. We're like, yeah, I don't like that person. I don't want to die. These girls, like you mentioned, do not have enough urgency whatsoever getting through this tunnel. If this is your decision, like, you got to crawl through this shit fast. Poor Jenna. She didn't deserve to go, but why is she stopping? No will to live. Crawl through that damn snow. My goodness. Like, it's just collapsing in. Crawl back through it. I do like the death, though. The auger. That's probably my favorite kill right there, personally. I think it's a badass weapon. And I got to ask, did Michael Myers teach these boys how to drive snowmobiles? Or fuck it, we just vibe because it looks cool. Where did these idiots learn how to drive a snowmobile? Sarah talking about going back for a weapon that she dropped in the snow. They're all idiots. I want them all to die at this point. Bridget gets a unique, brutal death that we don't see too often. Body gets vroom vroom by a snowmobile. Hell yeah. But the blood, like, I do agree, Brian, the blood flying out of the back of it, it looked terrible. Like, that's just something you don't have to show. Like, just because you have a low budget, straight to DVD, just don't show that. No shock here. Lauren froze to death out in the woods. Shout out to Shane. No clue how these last 2 ladies survived the night. I guess the cannibals just needed a nap too. Just quit chasing after them. And of course, Kenya's dumbass drives them right into a razor, barbed wire trap, whatever it is. She's the worst. How do you not see that? And the prosthetic heads, they look terrible landing in the snow. Even though it's a prequel, sometimes it's needed in horror movies for the bad guys to win. I didn't mind that the bad guys won.
All right. More awful acting and dialogue between the 4 girls when they were looking for the plug wires, like real eye roll worthy stuff. Then Kyle let the freaks pick the lock and get him. Like, what? Dummy. Like you said, Nico, kill him as soon as you're alone. If that was your plan, don't tell them I'm going to kill you. Just do it. I take back what I said earlier about the thing that was the most predictable thing ever, because it being Kyle under the sack that they killed, that was actually the most predictable thing ever. Come on. And it was stupid. Like you guys said, his hands were free. Take the sack off your head. Okay, problem solved. Why did these idiots wait until the person in front of them was all the way out of the hole before they started climbing? Go, go, go. Like, it's not a 1 person per snow hole rule. Like, they waited until they were all the way out, and they said, okay, you're free. And also, am I the only one that thought that while they were climbing through that snow up to above, it looked like Winnie the Pooh leaving Rabbit's house? Like, that's exactly what I thought of. And then, why did that idiot decide to run back and look for her fire poker? Move, lady. Have some urgency. I got a good laugh at the inbred getting knocked off a snowmobile by the tree. That was solid. That was funny. I thought about those TikToks where you see stuff like that and someone puts a face on the tree and it's like, tree, linebacker, Florida State University. Like, that, like that was solid tackle by the tree there. More awful CG follows, though, when the other inbred rides his snowmobile all over Bridget. That blood spray was terrible. I mean, oh my God. And then I'm a little lost. Was that the strong skier that we saw frozen to death there? How random was that? Like, why even have her ski off on her own if we just see her, like, she makes a little fire and we see the snow fall on it? Cool. But then we just randomly see her for, 12 seconds here, and she's frozen to death, and we never go back to her. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I missed it the first time. Completely missed it. Completely.
They just
missed
wanted
that
to show
scene.
like she almost made it to the road, but we don't care, you know. Like
don't-
she's been gone for a long time.
Here's the thing, Wrong Turn 4, Bloody Beginnings. I don't care about any of these characters. I just assume they all die. So you don't have to. If they would have never went back to her, I would have forgot she even existed.
What
But-
year is this supposed to be anyway?
2003.
Okay.
But even more random than us just seeing the strong skier there was just when we think that these two chicks are going to get away, they lose their heads in an inexplicable manner while the most bizarre song choice of the movie plays. And if that doesn't sum up this movie, I don't know what does. I will say, though, as their heads are flying through the air, it did kind of make me laugh that their heads looked like they were looking at each other. Like, I thought about their heads, and I heard Paul Rudd's voice saying, "Look at us. Who would have thought?"
Yeah. All right, guys, let's jump to our social media comments and questions. I will knock out the Graham first. Sean the Glee Man comment, I saw this one. I don't remember much about it other than that Dead Meat hated it, and it made me curious to watch it. Fair enough. And we got a DM from one of our biggest fans, Dale Milburn. He said, would you like to see more movies set in asylums or more set in the snow? And am I weird for enjoying this movie the most out of the franchise? Love the show, the best about from England, Dale. Then he said, bunch
Yes.
of inbreds chasing people around an abandoned asylum. What more could we want? But we'll just, y'all answer this first question he asked. Would you like to see more movies set in asylums or more set in the snow? I personally would like to see more, especially in the
Asylum.
snow.
Asylum, sure,
Now-
but snow, definitely.
Yeah, and I've said for years I would love to have seen a Michael Myers sequel in the asylum. Like, just I think there was I think I read in that book that there was a sequel that was canceled that was supposed to happen in, and I thought that would have been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Resurrection, you get that little opening scene, but that doesn't count. That's Laurie Strode in the mental place. And the last thing we got is from Ashley Lawrence. I have never seen this Wrong Turn, and I've always wanted to, for the simple fact that it's set in the snow. Guess I'm going to have to buy it because I never see it streaming. Yeah, it's definitely not the easiest one to find for whatever reason.
Is that Ashley Lawrence from Hellraiser?
No, it's not. It's a different
Oh,
one.
different Ashley.
Yeah, different one.
Oh.
Dustin, you got anything on Twitter or X or whatever you call it in Blue Sky?
Negative Ghost Rider.
Anything on
And
Book of
nothing
Faces?
on Book of Faces. No,
All right. You got any fun facts, trivia?
only have the one. First movie in the series that has no surviving peers. I guess I could have said survivors. Weird way to say that. Sorry.
I got two of them if you don't have any, Dustin. All right, this was shot on location at an actual abandoned sanatorium in Brandon, Manitoba, Canada. And this is the only, I think, or it may have been just up to this point, only Wrong Turn movie with no bow and arrow kill.
Sean Skeen, who you guys mentioned, played multiple characters in this movie, but he was in Goon, the Sean William Scott movie Goon, with Liev Schreiber was also in that movie, who, of course, played Cotton Weary in the Scream franchise with David Arquette, the GOAT.
Nice. I actually liked Goon.
Yeah, funny movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
No, Nico, we
This-
didn't say
this
we
guy.
liked two Goon. We liked the movie Goon.
Oh,
Whoa.
here we go.
That was a great movie.
Oh.
I've totally seen Goon. All right, guys, coming to our favorite kill, least favorite kill in the rating. Dustin, you want to kick us off?
Sure. Favorite kill, the two chicks at the end, because what? It was so unexpected to me. And I did laugh as their heads just kind of looked at each other flying through the air.
Just like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh, no. And you know I love a good decapitation. I mean, shout out Hereditary. But least favorite kill for me is Kyle. Come on. Although Claire's CG head popping off was a strong contender because it looked awful. So either one of those, really. As for my rating and final thoughts, this movie is awful. It definitely is Terrifier 3 bad to me, but I didn't hate it as much as I hated Terrifier 3 because it's not just excessive gore for no reason, and the story does make more sense. But the acting and dialogue is much worse. And the score, God, I hate it. This is my least favorite score I think I've ever seen in a movie, and the CG was just terrible. Strong contender for the worst movie I've watched this year. It's right up there with Screamboat and Jimmy and Stiggs. I give this one a 1.5, though. 1.5 out of 10.
Damien Leone would have had Lauren come back with a sword, and like a hell pit would have opened up, and then Fucking swallow him.
And then Eli Roth swoops in with some aliens and glow paint for some reason.
Hey, I don't care if you don't like the movie, but this is better than Jimmy and Stiggs, by God. Jimmy and Stiggs pissed me off.
I actually thought about this. They're on the same level dialogue-wise. Jimmy and Stiggs' dialogue had like 17 F words per sentence. But it sounded like more like real people talk, just way too many F words just for the sake of having F words. This movie, nobody talks like these people were talking, so same level there. But I agree, this movie is slightly better than Jimmy and Stiggs.
All right, mine's quick. My favorite kill, I also picked the surprise barbed wire decapitations. Again, I'm invoking suspension of disbelief for the realism, but the shock factor made me pick that. And my least favorite kill, I picked Kyle, probably because it was so fucking stupid is exactly what I wrote. I've gone through it pretty well. I'll just say my score here. I settled on a 3.
That's fair. My favorite kill, I'm going to be different. I'm picking Jenna, the auger through the back. Dude, I love that auger kill. Like, that auger is a cool weapon. My least favorite kill, I hear you on Kyle. Like, it really does annoy me, but Lauren, she just froze to death out in the woods. Like, those two are by far my least favorite. I will readily admit that this is not a good movie per se, but it is something I can just turn on for popcorn fun. I recognize everything bad that you all said about it. It's just a guilty pleasure flick for me that I saw on the Sci-Fi Channel many moons ago on the old DVR. I gave it a 5.5.
All right.
That's only 1 point higher than IMDb, so I didn't glaze it or anything.
No, you did.
Oh, fuck off.
That gives us a composite score of a 3.3125. IMDb is at 4.5. Letterboxd 2.3 out of 5. Rotten Tomatoes, though, here's the thing. 67% positive, but only 6 reviews. And it's not a valid representation. So we're just going to say Rotten Tomatoes is null and void on this one.
Yeah, they don't
because
count.
2 of the reviews from critics are from the same Horror Queers podcast. So that's 2 of the positive reviews.
How do we get on to be critics?
We want to be certified
We gotta
fresh,
do that.
by God. Why can't we be?
Yeah. There you go.
I'll look into it. But, yeah, so it's just not, we're not going to count Rotten Tomatoes this week.
Hey, fair enough. I'm glad you guys endured Wrong Turn 4 for me. Like, it's just, I picked it because it's December and it's wintertime, really, and I have fun with it. But anywho, I'm going to shout out our blood donors, and Dustin, you can announce your pick, the last film review of 2025. Holy shit. This year flew by, and we are dying fast, boys. Blood donors, really appreciate y'all. You take a huge burden off of us, help us pay these bills. Camper level reoccurring, Nina, Michelle Mirza, Steve Schmidt, Matt from the UK, and Anthony Andrews. Camp counselor reoccurring, Edwin Hernandez-Gunn, Joe Swinford, Adrian Aiello, Brian Samick, Andrew Ferguson, Brooke Maley, Heather Superdoc, Jennifer Davis, Me Too Close to Home Pod, Dana Tucker, Cole McAlexander, Max K, Amanda Pettiford, and Death Curse Casey. Really appreciate y'all. Like I mentioned, you've taken a huge burden off us, help us pay the bills, and we are forever grateful for your contributions. It means a lot. Dustin, announce your pick for next week.
Yeah, so I was going back and forth between 2 movies because I had to step in. We cannot do 3 bad movies in a row. Terrifier 3 and Wrong Turn 4. I have to save the month. So I was going back and forth between 2 movies. One of them takes place over Christmas break, and the other one's original title was February, so that settled that. I'll pick the other one in February. I went with 2019's The Lodge from Neon. It's got Riley Keough in it, Jaden Martell, Alicia Silverstone. I watched it when I was early on in my Neon watch through, so I think it's something that it's unnerving. So I think it's a solid movie.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I like Jaden Martell. Met him at a bar. Game 7 of the World Series. They were rooting on the Dodgers. That was pretty cool. But anywho, we'll be back next week with The Lodge.
Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you next week. And in the meantime, take care of yourself.
Just want to remind everybody,